What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Broken Down Podcast presented by MudFlap Outdoors. If you haven't already, go on and get your MudFlap Outdoors hats and the merch on our website at mudflapoutdoors.com. Be sure to follow all our social media on Instagram and Facebook. It is MudFlap Outdoors. You'll see our logo in the profile picture and all that kind of stuff. And also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see all the great content that's going out there. And as always, thank you for listening to the Broken Down Podcast. Well, y'all were probably wondering why I'm here and there's not really a guest or co-host, however you want to call it. Well, simply put, I'm here to apologize to everyone. That's right. I, MudFlap, am here to apologize to everyone. And I'm here to apologize to y'all because I have not kept y'all in the loop the past month and a half or possibly 2 months. I'm not good with days or months or anything like that. I was never good at math or English or anything. I was just good at video production and, basically talking out of my ass a little bit. So I'm here to say I'm sorry. And I'm here to also give you the reasons why I basically had that hiatus, a month or month and a half, 2 months going on. And basically, simply put, I was just living my life. I was living the MudFlap Outdoors lifestyle. I didn't have a camera, and honestly, it felt refreshing to not have to be like on the go and start thinking, oh man, I got to do this for content. I got to do this for content. It was very refreshing and kind of just reset myself to now that I've done that. I'm ready to just kind of go balls to the wall and just kind of see where things go. And look, the past month, I call it a October to remember. And it was very simple. All I did was work and concerts. And not only did I do concerts, I did them with my dad, which is freaking awesome. And really, I just wanted to kind of go on here and kind of just tell y'all a little bit about, the past October. Again, this is probably not going to be a long episode. This is probably not going to be that 40-minute 30-minute, 20-minute. If it's 15-minute episode, first off, I have talked y'all's ears off, and second off, holy crap, I can talk out of my ass about anything. You know what? I need to put that to the test. I may just start looking at something or like getting like some topics in a hat and just start pulling out and see if I can just talk about 5 minutes about it. It's kind of like one of those things where where it's like that elevator pitch or like that sales representative pitch of like, hey, sell me this pen. And then you just have to just come up with anything and everything. But no, anyway, what I was getting at was, the past month was interesting. I had a concert with my dad and other people came here and there every weekend in October, basically every weekend. So I am honestly glad that it's November and I can kind of chill because it's been go, 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 go. It's like, yeah, get off at work, do what I need to do after work and, house chores and all that. But the concerts, yeah, the driving to them, which ain't far, like the furthest one was at where it was actually two of them, and it was in Atlanta, Georgia. And they were outstanding and fun. But, I need to start from the beginning. This was not planned initially. It just kind of happened to be every weekend. Because it first started off with, I wanted to go see Cody Jinks. Cody Jinks is one of my favorite artists. I think I've seen him up until this point or before we even saw him in Atlanta 3 times. I saw him in 2016 when he was at Rock the South. I was there. Nobody knew him. All he had was Loud and Heavy, and that was kind of all people knew him from. I was the one basically screaming in a lawn chair in that field when the tickets were initially $50, and now just the general admissions, $538.22. But, I saw him in 2016 there, and then later that year, he was at in Montgomery, Alabama, at the little railroad, I don't even know what you call it. It was just some kind of building, shed, a pavilion. I think it was like the railroad pavilion. And so that was kind of cool, seeing him and Ward Davis there. And then I saw him in Tupelo, Mississippi, where Aaron Vinecourt open for him, and then you had Willie Nelson's son, Lucas Nelson, that was, I guess, the other co-headliner or other opener, however you want to call it or consider it. But basically, it came down to, hey, he was going to be in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I was going to go, but I didn't because that was my mom's birthday, and I probably would have been disowned by the family if I did not show up for her birthday or done anything for her birthday. So had to pass on that one, and it was okay. I was like, all right, it is what it is. And then I saw later he had a date. It was I think it was October 5th in Atlanta, and I was like, okay, I'm in. And I asked Daddy, I was like, hey, do you want to go to see Cody Jinks? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, all right, cool. So we booked it there. Then it was like 4th of July weekend, and we were there seeing at the Phoenix City Amphitheater Silverado and Them Dirty Roses. And if you hadn't seen those two acts, you got to go see them. They are great. I think Them Dirty Roses is pretty good. Where they're, the big song that I like and the big song my dad likes is Cocaine and Whiskey. So you gotta kind of have to roll with it. But great song, great artist. And so while I was there, I was looking up just like different concerts. And I think I was telling Daddy, I said, hey, Standard Deluxe in Waverly, Alabama, has some good concerts. I looked it up, and turns out Pony Bradshaw was going to be there. And I said, hey, I've seen him before, and he's really good, and I think you'd like him. And so sure enough, we bought tickets to that, and that was the third weekend in October. And I said, dude, we got to go see him. And then a few weeks went by, and we saw that Whiskey Myers was going to be in Dothan like the October 28th. It was like a Monday night. And I said, hey, I'll take off if you want to go. And he said, yeah, I'm in. So we ended up taking off work Monday and Tuesday to go to a concert so we can stay the night. And then we had those 3 concerts planned, and I had an open weekend. And I said, this open weekend's a good recoup weekend. I'll be good. Well, right before the Cody Jinks concert, or right after, I can't remember entirely, a lot of Miller Lights and Busch Lights in between then and now, I had my buddy, he said, hey, Corey Smith is going to be in Atlanta. And it turns out it was that open weekend. And so that is how we got to every weekend of some sort. I mean, it's a Monday for Whiskey Myers, but I consider it every weekend in October a concert. So let's start off with the Cody Jinks one, man. Cody Jinks rocked it out. He had Josh Malloy open for him, and I never seen him, so I was kind of excited seeing him. But the thing I want to talk about on that trip and that experience was my dad has never been in an Uber until that trip. Because at first he was like, okay, well, we need to drive there, try to find parking and all that. I said, no, dude, we'll Uber. He's like, Uber? I go, yeah. And he heard of Uber, but he's never done it. He don't have the app. But also he's never been in, situations where he had to go do it. And I said, hey, so you just Uber? Like, he goes, okay, so, and I never explained to him really in detail what Uber is or how it works or anything like that. I'd say, yeah, like you just call an Uber, they pick you up and go. Well, he had cash on him. He was like, okay, so we'll just pay him there. I said, no, it's not a taxi. It's all on the app. So I explained the app and how you put like your credit card or debit card into it and all that. And I said, yeah, dude, all you do is get there, get in the back, and you roll. And like he was gonna like tip the person cash or whatever, and I was like, no, you just do it on the app. And I showed him. He goes, after that, he goes, man, I'm Ubering everywhere. I said, hold on, killer. And I said, it's depending on where you're at and all that good stuff, it could be pricey. So that was kind of a unique situation and unique experience. So Dad and Uber, very interesting. The Corey Smith concert was at Buckhead Theater. That was the next one that we went to, and that was pretty good. It was just me, my dad, my buddy Chase, and our other buddy Danny. And so we all just kind of chilled there at the hotel, and then we went to Buckhead Theater and saw Corey Smith. I mean, that was funny enough. That was the second time I've ever seen Corey Smith. And honestly, you'll never believe the lineup to when I saw Corey Smith the first time. It was at the Phoenix City Amphitheater, and the opening act, there was 3 acts. The opening act was Muscadine Bloodline. The second act was Luke Combs. And the third act, obviously the headliner, was Corey Smith. My has time changed, because now Corey Smith is still selling out Buckhead Theater and venues like that, and Luke Combs is selling out stadiums. So I can honestly say I saw him when he was on the up and up. And I must preface, that was the time that Hurricane just came out for Luke Combs. That was like his big hit at the time, so that was kind of cool. But Corey Smith had a great concert, great event. It felt short. I don't know why it felt short, but it did. But also, me and my dad just came off of Cody Jinks, where it was almost I don't want to say hard rock concert, but you felt like a concert. Corey Smith had a more intimate vibe. I mean, it was a great experience, and definitely if you hadn't seen Corey Smith live, you got to. But then now we lead up to Pony Bradshaw. Now, Pony Bradshaw is a unique situation. I've seen him before at a place called the Little House, which is at the Standard Deluxe in Waverly, Alabama, and that's a venue that seats 50 people. So you're sitting there, smelling his cologne and basically smelling what he had for dinner or lunch or breakfast or whatever it is. So, it was me, my dad, and then we actually had my mom come out, and that was kind of cool. She got to see a concert like that, very chill, and it was beautiful weather. I mean, I had a hoodie on, in a lawn chair out there, listening to him play, and he was outstanding. Pony Bradshaw, saw him second time, great. My dad loved him, mom loved him. My boss loved him because he ended up going with us, and that was kind of cool. So that was kind of the wrap up of that, third concert. And I'm kind of passing by the second and third concert of Corey Smith and Pony Bradshaw because they're very similar. There's nothing really captivating like that first concert with Cody Jinks. Because the biggest thing that I just took away with it was he had an Uber ride, which leads into Whiskey Myers, because we ended up Ubering there after we got into our hotel room and all that good stuff. The Whiskey Myers concert was probably a good, how I would consider, bow wrapped, kind of into the circuit. And basically, the cool thing about Whiskey Myers is, I love Whiskey Myers, but Daddy loves Whiskey Myers. That is like their band. So like, Cody Jinks is like my guy in my band. Whiskey Myers is right there with him for Daddy. So like, it was pretty cool. And funny enough, we saw Whiskey Myers, I believe in 2016. It may have been 17. I really can't remember. I think it was 17. At a Bourbon Street Bar in Auburn, Alabama, when I was in college. We saw Whiskey Myers in front of like maybe 100 people, and that was pretty cool, seeing them there, and then seeing them in Dothan on a Monday night with a near sellout crowd just rocking out. So seeing that little progression, obviously during that time, more albums, Yellowstone, all those things that just transpired. But it was cool, like all these things were full circle moments of like, I've seen Cody Jinks 3 times, and now I'm like, okay, cool. I get to see him 4th time with Daddy. That's kind of cool. And then we saw Whiskey Myers together when I was in college, and then now I'm like, okay, now we can see him like in a big venue or bigger venue compared to that basically Smoky Bar kind of thing, or Smoky College Bar, I should say. And Whiskey Myers was outstanding. They had a Colby Acuff that was pretty solid. I never heard of this guy and group. It was JJ Gray and Mofro. Never heard of them. Solid. Not my music, but pretty solid. I basically did that set as a beer run for all of us, so that was kind of cool. But it was, I kind of sped through that, but not really, because I wanted to just, again, tell y'all that, hey, I'm sorry about like keeping y'all out of the loop, not seeing a lot of stuff from MudFlap Outdoors and the podcast world, the video world, the sessions world, or anything like that, and that type of content. But I just wanted to let y'all know that I was out there living the MudFlap Outdoors lifestyle of going out there, living in the moment, because that all those cool things that I did, all the concerts that, every weekend that me and Daddy went to, and all that is just memories. And that's memories and experiences that will just last a lifetime. That is something that, I can tell on, and that's what I'm telling y'all to do too, is, and that's why I'm really explaining all this to y'all, is like, look, just because you didn't hear from me doesn't mean I'm not living that MudFlap Outdoors lifestyle. And I encourage all of y'all to live that lifestyle, enjoy that moment, hug your loved ones, thank the good Lord that you're here on this earth and in this world, because, life's too short, and that's why you have to seize the moment and everything. And, how I look at it, it was a happy accident that we got to see 4 concerts in 4 weeks, which doesn't sound outrageous, really, but based on, just schedules and all that, I mean, we just lucked up and had that circuit. Now, I can honestly say, when I talked to him, we both were like, yeah, we're glad that we did it, but we're also glad that, we can kind of just not do this and just kind of sit on a couch and watch football, on Saturdays and Sundays and Fridays and all that good stuff. But look, guys, again, I just want to come on here and just sit there and say, hey, sorry you hadn't heard much from MudFlap Outdoors, but I can promise you're going to hear a lot more from MudFlap Outdoors in the near future. Thank y'all for listening to the Broken Down podcast presented by MudFlap Outdoors. Again, if you have not got your MudFlap Outdoors hats, go on to mudflapoutdoors.com, mudflapoutdoors.com, and go on and order your hat. Order it today. Order it tomorrow. Order it for someone that just doesn't have a hat. Look, I'm bald, so I need a hat to cover up my bald head. But, I always tell people and I always tell everyone, bald is beautiful. So, if you're bald, look, showcase it. Showcase your bald self. But also, you need a good-looking hat, so I'd sit there and say, go and get you a MudFlap Outdoors hat today. And be sure to follow all our social media on Instagram and Facebook. And don't forget to like and subscribe to all our videos and our YouTube channels, MudFlap Outdoors. You can't miss it. All you see is that MF logo. And again, thank you for listening to the Broken Down podcast presented by MudFlap Outdoors. And as always, keep on keeping on, everybody.